Fine. So, okay. So handing it over to our team mod, our very special team mod, Toastmaster Misha, as she enlightens us with a very special theme today, which will touch all our hearts. Thank you, Toastmaster Misha. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rakesh. Good morning, everybody. My name is Misha D'Souza, and I will be the Toastmaster for today's meeting. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all on this Sunday morning. I actually appreciate all the efforts you have taken to join us on a Sunday morning and make this meeting a successful one. Raksha Bandhan, as the term says, it is a Sanskrit term which comes from two words, Raksha and Bandhan. Raksha means protection and Bandhan means a bond, which simply translates to a bond of protection. Observed on a full moon day of the Hindu lunar solar month of Shravana and the Gregorian calendar month of August, this auspicious day over the years has been associated with celebrating the connection between a protector and a protectee. As per the Hindu tradition, it has been popularly known to celebrate the love between brothers and sisters, who may or may not be biologically related. The sister ties a rakhi, a sacred thread, on the brother's wrist and prays for his prosperity, while the brother gives her a token of gift and promise to protect her. There are several stories which revolve around how this beautiful festival started. I would like to state a few where I would like to mention how this story began or how this festival began. There is one story of Draupadi and Krishna. It is one of the most popular Indian mythology legends where Lord Krishna and Draupadi, the wife of five Pandavas, on Makar Sankranti, where Krishna cut his little finger. Watching Krishna bleed profusely, Draupadi cut off a part of her loose end of a sari and tied it on his finger. In return, Krishna promised to protect her. Krishna's help to Draupadi was immortalized in mythology when at her unceremonious Chirharan, her sari keeps getting extended, which answers how she called for help and how he helped her. Another story is about Yama and Yamuna. When Yam, the god of death, did not visit his sister Yamuna, the river goddess sought help from Ganga for 12 years. Upon a reminder about his sister by Ganga, Yam decided to visit Yamuna. Being overjoyed by her brother's arrival, Yamuna prepared a bountiful feast for Yam and tied a rakhi to him. Delighted by this gesture, he asked his sister what she wanted as a gift. All she wished for her brother was to visit her soon. Moved by his sister's love, he blessed her with eternal life, and so Yamuna, the longest and the second largest tributary of river Ganga, flows tirelessly today. Another very popular story is Lord Bali and goddess Lakshmi. When demon king Bali, a devotee of Lord Vishnu, asked him for protection, Vishnu did it under the disguise of Bali's doorman. Away in Vishnu's abode, Vaikunt, his wife Lakshmi missed him. So she disguised herself as a woman seeking shelter and approached Bali, who opens his palace doors for her. She, being the goddess of wealth, prospered Bali's home. On the full moon day of Shravana, when Lakshmi tied a thread of colored cotton on Bali's wrist for his protection, he asked her what she desired as a gift. Lakshmi simply pointed to the gatekeeper, who revealed his true identity. Bali kept his promise and asked Vishnu to return home with Lakshmi. But Vishnu in turn promised to spend 4 months of each year with Bali. As times are changing, sisters are not only seen tying rakhi to their brothers, but donning themselves too. Man or woman doesn't matter. Every protector deserves a rakhi, no? So instead of celebrating brothers and sisters, let us celebrate siblings. Who tied the first rakhi to whom may continue to be a mystery, but don't let that stop from you tying one to whomever you want, because it's always about protection and protecting. So after all, they are the one who stay with us till the end, and they are our siblings. And you can have a sibling relationship with not just your siblings you're bonded by blood, but by emotions also. They can be your cousins, your friends, or any stranger. So now, getting into the mood of the Toastmasters meeting, let me take you through the phases of the sessions of the Toastmasters meeting. We will go through the Raksha Bandhan theme more, but I will now, for the benefit of the guests, I will now like to invite all the tag team members and introduce them with their roles. But to begin with, each Toastmasters meeting has 3 sections. First is the prepared speech section where the members come and present prepared speeches in accordance to their levels, pathways, and projects. Second is the table topic session or the impromptu speech section. As Toastmasters, we encourage everyone to speak without hesitation, and hence, this is a fun and interactive session where all interested members and guests get a chance to give short impromptu speeches. Third is the evaluation, because without proper evaluation, failure is inevitable. So we have the speech evaluators and a general evaluator giving us a detailed evaluation for us to understand and improve ourselves. Every Toastmaster meeting is obviously incomplete without a tag team. The tag team comprises of the timer, the accounter, and the grammarian. But I would like to introduce the grammarian first. Grammar is the structural foundation of our ability to express ourselves. The more we are aware of how it works, the more we can monitor the meaning and effectiveness of the way we and the others use language. With that being said, I would now like to call upon our grammarian for today, Toastmaster Ajay, to share with us his responsibility as a grammarian. Over to you, Toastmaster Ajay.
Thank you so much, Timur. Please confirm if I'm visible and audible.
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Thank you, our beloved past President Timur Misha, and fellow Toastmaster, my dear guest. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language uses. I will take note of any not so correct uses of the English language, as well as all examples of good uses. As a grammarian, it is my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word is simplicity, which means to balance the personal or professional work with an effectiveness, or in other words, eliminating the unnecessary complexity. As an example, our past EX President, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, lives his entire life as a simplicity. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. Whenever any speaker on the stage uses the word of the day in the right context, I would request the audience to show a thumbs up as a sign of mark appreciation. I will give a word of the day report and grammatical uses report when called upon by the general evaluator at the end of the meeting. Over to you, Timur. Misha.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ajay. Please share the word of the day in the chat box for everyone to refer. Thank you. There is no perfect quote for our counter, but to misquote Alexander Pope, to err is human, to forego erring is divine. The quote may be wrong, but the underlying message is absolutely true. So now that I have the importance of our counter in a quote, I would like to invite our counter Toastmaster Amit to share in clear words without any underlying meetings as to how an our counter functions in a Toastmaster meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Amit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Misha. Hope I am audible and visible.
You are? Yes, you are.
Yes. Good morning, my all fellow Toastmaster and DTM Sudarshan. So my role as a R counter is to record unnecessary sounds used by the speaker and the role bearers. They include the crutch words, filler words, but, like, so, okay, filler phrases like you know and so etc. Extremely long pauses. The crutch words or the filler sounds obstruct the smooth flow of speech, can be annoying to the listener, at the same time decreasing the value of the speech. Therefore, the R counter notes these words and phrases in order to help the speaker become aware of them and minimize the use of these words and phrases in future. I'll present the R counter report when called upon by the general evaluator at the end of the meeting. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Misha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amit. Now, last but not the least comes the timer. About a few days back, I read something very fascinating in a marketing book. It said some people may be financially rich, but they are poor in time. To elaborate, people today have multiple things jostling for their attention, and therefore your company's marketing efforts should not waste their time. If you think about it, for a public speaker, this is equally true. When a speaker takes too much time to arrive at the central point or speak beyond their time limit, a time poor audience may choose to abandon them. It is therefore very important to deliver your perfect message in the time allotted to you. This is the very essence of the role of a timer in Toastmasters. In Toastmasters, every session has a predefined time limit for a speaker. And to make sure the time limit is maintained, we have our timer, Toastmaster Swapnali. I would like to hand it over to Toastmaster Swapnali to give us the timing guidelines for the Toastmasters meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Swapnali.
Sure. Thank you, Timur, Misha. Good morning, everyone. Hello, my fellow Toastmasters and DTM. So as a timer, I'll be helping the speakers to express their thoughts within the allotted time limits. My duty is to time prepare speeches, table topics, speeches, speech evaluations, educational sessions, if applicable, during this meeting. To help me in performing my role, I have this set of 3 color cards. So green indicates qualifying time, yellow indicates target time, red indicates maximum time. For an icebreaker speech, I'll show green card at 4 minutes, yellow at 5, and red card at 6 minutes. For 5 to 7 minutes prepared speech, I'll show green card at 5 minutes, yellow card at 6 minutes, and red at 7 minutes. For the prepared speeches, we have a grace period of 30 seconds on either side of the time limit. I'll present the timing report at the end when called upon by the Toastmaster of the day. So hope that was clear. Thank you, and back to you, Timur, Misha.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Swapnali. Now that we are all aware about the core essence of the Toastmasters meeting, let me take this meeting forward with the theme of the meeting, which is Raksha Bandhan. We all have siblings or sibling figures. So I would like at least 5 of you to share 3 things you love the most about your siblings. Anyone is ready? Anyone can come and share with us. What are the 3 things you love the most about your siblings? It would be better if you keep it short and one word. Would anyone like to share what are the 3 things they love about their siblings the most?
Hello, Toastmaster Misha.
Hello, Arbaz.
Yeah, personally speaking, I do not have any siblings, but if I had any siblings, in 3 words, that would be learn together, teach each other together, and reflect together.
That's a lovely thing. That is really lovely. And I hope a lot of people will resonate with it, resonate with what you have said. And I would really like to know more about what people think are the best qualities about the siblings they have.
I would say first one is happily stuck together forever. Second would be sharing and living together. And third would be growing together.
That's great. That's lovely. Anyone else would like to share?
I
can
define
go.
as someone that is connected to you with your first friend, connected to you with blood.
That's beautiful. That is really beautiful. Your friend connected to you with blood. That's beautiful. Anyone else would like to define?
So I have a younger brother. So I would say protectiveness, someone who shows you the mirror, in case you falter or something, and someone who's always there by your side.
Yes, that's true. Everybody will go, everyone will leave, but your siblings will always be there for you, no matter what.
I'll just add a point, Misha.
Sure.
I think the elder siblings have a superpower of inspiring their younger ones. At
That's
that
true.
age, you have the whole world who can motivate you, but to inspire someone is something very special that sibling can do.
Absolutely. They can make you laugh even at the most depressing moments. Like this has happened with me. I was very depressed once, and I had called my sister and I was actually crying on the video call. Within few minutes, I was actually laughing. And it was a transition I didn't even realize, but she made me laugh so hard, that too when I was crying so much. And a lot of people might actually resonate with that, or they might have even experienced that. So that is one thing which I really think is the benefit of having a sibling. They are there with you and they are non-judgmental. They never judge you for being you. Would anyone else like to share something?
Yes, Misha. Am I audible?
Yes, you
So,
are.
so being that I'm the youngest in the family, so for me, siblings are like the best companion and the best partner in your life. So, with whom you can feel like very much protected, and they are the best supporter. It's all about siblings, and when you have your all elder siblings.
Absolutely. That's great. That's great. So that was really nice to know a lot of things we know, with lot of things we have with our siblings. And I'm sure this is a very short thing. If asked and if discussed, it's going to be a huge, a very elaborated discussions, because we don't just have things, we have stories to tell, we have experiences that we have lived with our siblings. Moving on, there is a short game, a very small game. Obviously, in India, three things are very popular. That is politics, Bollywood, and cricket. So there are a lot of influence of Bollywood on all of us. So this is a very small game. It will be just 5 minutes. I would request the timer to please time us for 5 minutes. And I would be displaying the very famous siblings of particular movies. And I would like all of you to recognize or identify which movie it is. Okay. So can everyone see my screen?
Yes, Misha, we can see it.
Okay, so these are very popular siblings and movies based on siblings. I would like all of you to please, can I see the timer also? So that we don't run out of time, or we don't go overboard.
The timing you mean, but I can't share while you're sharing. So you want me to change my background accordingly?
That would be great.
Okay. Just give me a second. You can carry on, as in I'm taking a note.
Okay, so all the Bollywood buffs, especially, just start guessing whatever movie I'm displaying. So anyone who can tell me which movie is this?
Iqbal.
Iqbal.
Lovely.
Josh.
Okay. Can anyone tell me what are the names of these characters?
Yeah, Max and Shirley.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
What is
This
that?
is Milkha Bhag.
Yes,
Bhag Milkha Bhag.
absolutely.
Hum Saath Saath Hain.
Exactly.
Aapke.
Yes. I've kept it very simple so that everybody is able to.
Jo jita wahi
Yes.
sikha.
Can
Sanju.
someone tell me the names of
Sanju.
these characters? Yes.
Ratan and Sanju.
Yeah.
Karan Arjun.
Yes.
Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum.
Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum.
Yes. Sorry.
Amar Akbar Anthony.
Yes.
I don't know.
Anyone?
Dil Dhadak Hai Do.
Seen the movie. but I-
Absolutely. Yes.
Dil
Aisha and
Dhadak Hai Do.
Kabir. Yes.
Aisha and Kabir.
This is Diwar.
Diwar.
Yes. This is a bit difficult. I don't know. Someone might get it though.
Waqt.
Yes.
Oh,
It's been Waqt.
Yes, that's true. It's a brilliant movie.
Balraj Shahani.
Don.
Satya Pe Satta.
Satya Pe Satta.
Satyavrata.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fiza.
Pizza.
Pizza.
Anyone?
Jaan Tu Ya Jana.
Yes. Okay, anyone?
Hare Rama, Hare Krishna.
Hare Rama.
Yes.
Oh, this is
Yes, Tare Zameen Par.
Tare Zameen Par.
This is Udan.
Yes, it is Udan. Yes.
Friends,
Anyone? Yes. Anyone can tell their names?
Monica and Ross.
Monica and Ross. Yes, exactly.
Modern Family.
Yes. And they
Mitchell
are?
and Claire. Mitchell and
Yes.
Claire.
Yes, exactly.
Alex, Haley, and Luke.
Yes.
Super.
Mirzapur.
And what are their names?
Munna. No, Munna to like.
Good too. Good too.
Guddu.
Yes. Anyone?
She's Creed. I don't know the
Yes,
name of the character.
exactly. Alexis and David.
2.5 Men.
Charlie,
Yes.
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie and I don't know the name.
Alan.
Alan.
Yes.
Sarah versus Sarah.
Yes. So who are the brothers?
I don't know the name.
Sahil and Roshes. Exactly. So, okay. So I hope you all enjoyed it. These are very popular siblings and we all know them. So moving on. Now I would like to take you all through the prepared speeches. Just please excuse me. Yeah, thank you so much. So moving on, I hope you all had fun. We have more such games and these are games only, very simple for all of you to enjoy and participate. So moving on, now I would like to begin the prepared speeches. I would like to first call Swapnali to please share the timing guidelines for the prepared speeches. Over to you, Toastmaster Swapnali.
Thank you again, Timur, Misha. Sorry, just give me a second. So for the prepared speeches, the timings are 5 to 7 minutes. I'll be showing the green card at 5 minutes, yellow at 6 minutes, and red at 7 minutes. For the prepared speeches, we have a grace period of 30 seconds on either side of the limit. So I hope that the instructions were clear. Thank you, and back to you, Misha.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Swapnali. So, our first speaker for today is the effortless speaker, Toastmaster Arpaz, who will be giving his L1P4 speech. And for him, we have Toastmaster Tariq to be his evaluator. I would now request Toastmaster Tariq to please share the speech objective with us. Over to you, Toastmaster Tariq.
Thank you, Toastmaster Misha. Good afternoon, everyone. And it's a great day today. The weather is good, rains off on and off. Today we have speaker who is known for his simplicity, Toastmaster Arbaz. He's attempting speech for the evaluation and feedback for his particular pathway. The purpose of this speech and the project is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during a club meeting. The purpose of the speech is for the member to demonstrate their ability to deliver an effective, respectful speech evaluation as well. I would like to notify timer about the timing for this particular speech is 5 to 7 minutes. And I wish all the best Toastmaster Arbaz, who is on a speech spree for Mumbai Speakers Toastmasters Club. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Misha.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Tariq. Now I would like to hand over the speech to Speaker Toastmaster Arbaz. The title of his speech is Gratitude, Not Attitude. Toastmaster Arbaz, gratitude, not attitude. Gratitude, not attitude, Toastmaster Arbaz. Over to you. All the best.
Life consists of many virtues. Today, I'm going to speak about one such thought-provoking virtue that is widely regarded as the mother of all virtues, but ironically has become a rarity these days. Any guesses, my friends? Yes, that virtue is gratitude. So very good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Gratitude simply means being thankful for something. A lot of researchers right from the ancient Rome have done extensive research on this concept, including Cesaro, and they have found that it consists of two components. First is affirmation of goodness, and second, the source of this goodness lies outside ourselves. Let us try to understand these two components with the help of an example. Imagine there is an old woman who's finding it hard to cross a road. A person comes in and asks for help, and he helps her crossing the road. In this thing, two things have happened. First is the affirmation of goodness. Helping someone is a good deed. This demonstrates that in this big bad world, goodness still exists. It has not died yet. And the second component, it was the person who helped that woman. So the person became the source of that goodness. This exemplifies that whatever good has ever happened to us in our life, someone or something was the source of it or the reason for it. Now the concept part apart, let me tell you what attracted me towards this concept. I remember one evening, I gave an order to a nearby restaurant, but the delivery boy didn't show up on time. I went mad as I started to feel hungry. Then after an unendingly long time, I finally heard someone knocking at the door. I got up in a huff, rushed in to take my parcel thinking I would give him a nice lecture for coming late. Because my subconscious mind was guided by my attitude. I had given that order. How come there was a delay on his part? But as I opened the door, I was shocked. There was a little boy, roughly between 10 to 12 years of age. He was also seeming poor, carrying my parcel in his right hand. I could not say anything. But after he left, I began self-introspection by asking myself some fundamental questions, such as what might have prompted that boy to do such a job? Does he go to school? What occupation his parents might be engaged in? Or does he even have parents in the first place? So that moment I felt my attitude turning into gratitude as I felt pity for him. Since that day, I have started comparing myself to the have-nots rather than the haves. And gratitude has become more of a short-term response for me. It has indeed become a soul-healing exercise. There are many reasons to embrace gratitude. Let me tell you 5 top reasons. First, neurologists across the globe have done extensive study on this concept and have found that gratitude is directly correlated to the release of hormones such as dopamine and serotonin. These are popularly known as happy hormones. They make us feel happy and satisfied. And the best part about these emotions is they are more or less contagious. Meaning if you're feeling happy and satisfied, you will carry the same positive vibe around everyone, wherever you go. So that improves social bond. A 2019 study done by Glasgow researchers have found that feeling grateful is directly related with better sleep patterns as it keeps away negative thoughts. Another study by a group of researchers at the University of Manchester have found that gratitude is indeed something which will make us more productive in our work. When looked at from the spiritual point of view, many people have found that gratitude is the best tool to remove the rust of envy, jealousy, hatred, vengeance, and whatnot from our heart and makes us feel in abundance rather than deprived. And lastly, one more benefit that it makes one more health conscious. For example, a person who is grateful will avoid smoking, avoid drugs, or even think twice before taking extreme steps such as committing a suicide, so to say. But the mood question is how to embrace it and shun attitude. Many reasons, my friend, many reasons. Let me discuss 5 top reasons. First, social emotions. These are feelings, expressions, and opinions of others that have a direct influence on our perception about our own individual self. So keeping a good company is a must-do thing. Second powerful technique is known as practicing mindful meditation. This technique focuses on the present and discarding all past and future worries, which otherwise constitute a major chunk of our anxieties and fears. Third, counting your blessings. I literally can say that if you start counting our blessings, the list will become endless. For the sake of simplicity, we can just count 3 things every single day that we come across so that our brains get conditioned to appreciate things. Fourth, imbibing tolerance, especially when dealing with a lackluster criticism. Always remember that it's just an opinion, not a fact. So let it never affect your morale. And lastly, my favorite is something which is centered around simplicity, such as doing small, simple things, saying thank you, smiling, greeting others, wishing birthdays, so on and so forth. Lastly, as I'm about to conclude, I would say, my friends, that whatever things we have in our life, it's not because we always deserved it. It's because that someone or something was the source of it. So it pays well to discard attitude and express gratitude. And gratitude, it's like a ripple effect. The more we express, the more we manifest. So yeah, let's all together say it in a single voice. Henceforth, let it be gratitude and not attitude. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Misha. Thank you.
That was a well-crafted, neatly delivered, and a very thought-provoking speech by Toastmaster Arbaz. Kudos to Toastmaster Arbaz on such an effortless speech. Our next speaker for today is the seasoned Toastmaster, who is also the dynamic president of our club, Toastmaster Rakesh. He will be delivering his L3P2 speech today and will be evaluated by distinguished Toastmaster Sudarshan. I would now request DTM Sudarshan to please read out his speech objectives. Over to you, DTM Sudarshan.
Thank you very much. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, today our speaker Rakesh is delivering a speech from the Leadership Development Path. It is a level 3 project 2 speech. The objective of this particular speech is for the speaker to incorporate a story while delivering a speech. So he is going to attempt to tell us a story as a part of his speech, or maybe the speech itself could be a story. The time allocated is 5 to 7 minutes, and the speech title is What is Your Story? Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, DTM Sudarshan. Now I hand over the stage to Toastmaster Rakesh. The title of his speech is What's Your Story? Toastmaster Rakesh, what's your story? What's your story, Toastmaster Rakesh? Over to you and good luck.
I hope I'm audible and visible. Thank you, T-Mod Misha.
Rakesh, just 1 second before you start. Timer, if you could just share it at 5, 6, and 7 instead of sharing the whole screen, the speaker will be on the center stage. This way, you're occupying 50% of the screen, which takes away from the speaker.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm not sure whether I followed that. So you want me to share at the end of the 5 minutes?
Either that or you change your background. Changing your background is far better.
Correct.
All right, I'll do that. Sorry, Team Rakesh. I think I can. You can carry on. I'll start the timer in the background.
Yeah.
And share my screen immediately after that.
Yeah. When you start, let me know. I'll start. Should
Started.
I start? Okay. Good morning, my fellow Toastmasters. If I tell you, you have to listen to a story for the next 5 to 7 minutes, most of you all would be wondering, wait a minute. I thought we were in for an action-packed, efficacious speech. But the real question that you all should be asking me is, Rakesh, what is your story? What is your story? The concept of a storytelling is beyond what we have imagined. As quoted by the great professor from Harvard University, Dr. Howard Gardner, stories constitute the single most powerful weapon in a leader's arsenal. Yes, we are privy to content being king, but my friends, content without a story is like an emperor without clothes. Impressive contents with insightful data and theatrical entertainment are like atoms dispersed in space. It is a story that bonds these atoms of the speech together to establish a covalent bond. Something that not only catches the eye, but also keeps everyone engaged. But let me tell you an interesting fact, my friends. A story is not just a story, but a very powerful acronym that I discovered. S refers to sustained, T for a tail, not the wagging tail, but a tail. O for orienting, R for regaling, and Y for yearning. So the next time you tell your story, dear Toastmasters, you are delivering a sustained performance, narrating a tale that orients the audience about a personal episode in your life, regaling them with a theatrical performance, wanting them yearning for more. I too was at the crossroads of my career almost 10 years ago, when I was almost at a make or break stage. I had to choose between being fired unceremoniously versus being promoted to a CEO. Armed with an MBA from a top-notch business school, I started my career with a company that we all know is Goldman Sachs, or the company that has the Midas touch. Starting off as an analyst, looking at balance sheets and profit and loss accounts of various companies, my job was to tell my clients what stocks, bonds, or mutual funds that they need to invest in. I did my job jolly well, and as my clients were making windfall gains in a falling market. My sales and trading desk walks up to me, places his arm on my shoulders and asks, "Son, I've been in this firm for 30 years. Your clients have profited in a falling market. What's your story?" That was my first time I heard that acronym story. My boss, seeing the tenacity in me, was quick to promote me to Vice President Sales and Trading in just 2 years. But the word story was still lingering on in my mind. Then as few years passed, I was quickly pulled into larger assignments such as pitching IPO deals for clients, mergers and acquisitions. I mean, the list was endless. I tried with all my talent, qualifications, the experience that I had garnered for years in finance to pitch deals to my now creme de la creme corporate clients. But somehow they were not convinced. The feedback that was provided to my higher ups were, the content is great, but the presentation is not. To my ears, it sounded like I asked him what was his story, but he just couldn't narrate. I knew I had to pivot, not with content, but with a sustained talent that orients and regales my audience that were yearning for more. In short, I had to tell my story. As now, it was a do or die. My CEO was quick to have a meeting with me and inform me of the consequences. Either I had to go to the next level as an MD or get fired. Now, my next investor and client pitches were structured, and I picked up the phone and the conversation goes something like, "Hello, Mr. Birla. I see that you own a telecom and the Ambanis are bleeding you to death." Mr. Birla was like, "So Kimosabi, why am I listening to you?" And then I told him, "I'm not going to bore you with valuation, stock pricing, and all that jazz. I think all you need is synergy." Mr. Birla was listening. He asked me to go on. My CEO, big boss, and the entire department were listening to this crucial conversation as this was a make and break situation for us. I told Mr. Birla that Vodafone CEO walked up to my office and wanted to take on the Ambanis himself as he was looking for a strategic partner. This was music to his ears. And Mr. Birla quickly stormed into my office, desperate to listen to my story. I sat him down on a comfortable executive lounge and then called up Arun Sarin, the CEO of Vodafone, and told him that Birla is here. Now, Starin stormed into my office. And suddenly in our boardroom, we had the CEOs of the two largest telecom companies of Asia side by side. My CEO was flummoxed as I had pulled a rabbit out of the hat. I looked at them both and started. "So you guys wanted to merge and create the right revenue and cost synergies and take on Ambani's? This is the only deal that you could do, as you guys have debt ridden on your balance sheets. That is the only way out for you all, my friends. At Goldman Sachs, we can be your strategic partner and structure this deal and change your brand appeal. Shareholders and customers will be overjoyed, and you're building shareholder value." They looked at each other immediately and quickly nodded. The contract was signed. The merger happened at $23 billion. A new brand, We, was formed, and we made a killing on the merger fee. Next day, my CEO stormed into my office and said, "Congratulations, but did they actually want to merge? I thought Mr. Birla was reluctant initially, wasn't he?" To which he said, He was when I pitched the deal to him. But when I told him a story and used simplicity on why he cannot live without that, he immediately agreed. My CEO was flabbergasted. The next day, I get an email from the board of directors saying, Mr. Blankfein, the CEO is retiring. The board is now appointing you as a CEO. I was ecstatic as I made my way into my 600 square feet plush executive cabin, accepting my double promotion with grace and swaying around in my executive chair. The next day, I was bombarded with 4 CVs from very able candidates that had the wherewithal to make it to Goldman Sachs at managing director level positions to take on our investment banking division business. I called them all for interviews. I rejected 3 candidates immediately as they didn't answer my question. Then the 4th candidate walked in. I thought he had all the promise in the world, but could he answer my favorite question? What is your story? What is your story? Over to you, Timon.
Thank you so much. That was a lovely speech written with a lot of love and delivered with true efforts and sincerity. Kudos to Rakesh on this flawless speech. Well, after a mind-blowing prepared speech session, now we have the second phase of the Toastmasters meeting, which is the table topic session. But before that, I would like our timer to give the timing reports for the prepared speeches. Over to you, Toastmaster Swapnali, for the timing reports.
Thank you, DM Misha. Okay, so let me present my screen quickly. So we had Arbaz and we had Rakesh. Arbaz qualified with 6.41. Rakesh was slightly over by 7.2 minutes. So as a summary, back to you, Misha. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Swapnali. So now we have another game.
Misha, 1 second. What does
Yes.
7.2 mean? It's 5 to 7 minutes. 7 minutes 30 is qualified. If 7.2 means 7.7 minutes 20, then he's also.
7, yeah. But then for some reason it's showing me the red background.
Yeah, it's fine. That is fine. You have 30
okay.
seconds of grace.
Okay, all right, sure. I'll change the report.
Okay, can I continue? Okay, thank you. So moving on with the theme, now I have another game which is similar to the previous game, but now we do not have to identify the movies, but the famous celebrity siblings. And obviously, like I said, they belong to Bollywood, they belong to cricket, they belong to politics. So I'm pretty sure all of you will be very excited to participate in the game. Please allow me to share my screen. Please excuse me. Okay, so can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't think there should be any points for guessing these people, but yes, for fun, let's just go ahead. Anyone?
You need to zoom in, Misha.
Yeah, you're just showing icons. You need
We
to.
can't see the photo. It's just the
Okay.
folder screen.
Okay, just scroll down.
So you can just double click the photo now.
Okay, now
No,
No.
just
it's still showing your
okay
folder
now.
screen. I think you're sharing the wrong screen.
Okay, just a second. I'll
Misha,
close this.
Misha, close
Yeah.
this and then open again now.
Okay.
Just close
I'll
this and open again.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you share.
Okay. Stop sharing.
Now you share. Now double click the file.
Okay.
No, not opening. Just double click.
No, it is probably opening paint or some such thing in the back. You have to go to
Misha,
that software.
Misha, stop sharing and share the screen as a whole and not just the folder, right? So you share the screen, not an
Okay,
application.
just a second.
Share
Okay,
the
I
screen
got
one.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, I got that. I'm extremely sorry. I'm not very tech savvy.
Fine.
Please
We'll make
excuse
you one.
me. Yeah, I would love to do that. I would love to be. Okay.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. So no points for guessing, but yeah, please go ahead.
Karishma Kapoor and Kareena.
Yes.
Okay. Shruti and I don't know,
Akshara Hassan.
Akshya, yeah.
Yes.
Malaika and
Amrita Roy.
Amrita.
Yes.
Amrita is nowhere to be seen these days.
Shilpa Shetty and Shamita.
Shamita.
Okay.
Saif
Saif
and
Ali Khan, Sara Ali.
And Soha.
Okay.
Ayushma.
Papa Shakti and Ayushman Khurrana.
Yes.
Anil and
Anil
Sanjay.
Kapoor and Sanjay.
Tushar.
Tushar Kapoor and
Tushar.
Ekta Kapoor. And
Ranveer
Rishi
Ranveer
Kapoor
Kapoor.
and Ranveer Kapoor.
Ranveer and Rishi.
Ranveer.
Salman,
Salman, Arbaz, and
Salim.
Sohail.
No Salim, only Sohail,
Sorry.
Sarbaz and
Sorry.
Salim is the father, by the way.
Yeah.
Madhavra, Vijayaraje, and
Yashodhara Raj.
Yashodhara.
Yes.
Oh, Ajit Pawar and
Priya Sule.
Yes.
Rajiv Gandhi.
Sanjay and
Sanjay.
Sanjay Raja. Farooq
Farooq.
Abdullah and other.
Omar Abdullah, not Farooq Abdullah.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry, Omar. Yeah,
And,
Farooq's father.
Oh,
Sara Abdullah.
Correct. Nehru.
Jawaharlal
Nehru
Nehru.
and other.
Vijayalakshmi Pandit.
Yes.
Did Jawaharlal Nehru, yeah.
Hardik
Ah.
Pandya.
Hardik and Kunal.
Hardik.
Yeah,
This is
the Pathan brothers.
Pathan brother.
Yeah.
Yusuf.
Yusuf
yeah.
and Irfan Pathan.
this is Cheher, Rahul Cheher
Yeah.
and
Deepak Chahar.
Deepak Chahar. Yeah.
Yes.
Bretley Sherry.
Bretley and
Yeah.
Mornay and Albi. Morton.
Albi
Yes.
Mokal, Bonnie
Albi
Mokal.
Mokal. Yes. Morne Mokal.
Steve
Oh.
Martin.
Steve Johnson.
Steve Ward and
Steve
Mark
and-
Waugh. Mark
That's
Waugh.
it.
Martin Steve.
David Hussey, Michael Hussey.
Yeah.
Andy Fla, Grant Fla.
And the flag, Grand Flag. Yeah.
The
Akmal.
others.
Yeah, Kamal. Umar and Kamran Akmal.
Yes. Kamran Akmal, Omar Akmal. Okay. So that was it. It's always nice to see celebrity siblings being very successful. I had more, but I'm just keeping it short because we already are overboard the time limit. So moving on, now we have the Toastmaster, we have the table topic session, and for that we have Toastmaster Rakesh. He has been our amazing and creative table topic master Toastmaster Rakesh has taken the pain and efforts to prepare interesting questions for this session filled with love. No more one word answers or any identifying any celebrities, but full, complete, and meaningful sentences from your heart with full participation. I would urge all of you to participate with love in your hearts and truth in your words, from your hearts to ours. So without any further ado, I would like to hand over the session to stage to Toastmaster Rakesh. Over to you, Toastmaster Rakesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Misha. So yeah, as we all know that the table topic session is one of the most interesting ones because obviously you have to speak impromptu. You did not get time to prepare for the speeches as you do for prepared speeches. So this will test your impromptu and extempore public speaking skills. So everybody has 2 minutes to basically speak on a particular topic with a grace period of 30 seconds. So I have prepared 5 very interesting table topics in line with the current theme, with the Toastmaster of the day is beautifully presenting. So let me call upon, can I have a raise of hands? So who goes first? Okay, great. So Toastmaster Samarth, may I invite you on the screen? Okay. Yeah, Samarth.
Yes, am I visible?
Yes, perfect, perfect. So
Okay.
Samarth, your topic for the day is, my siblings are my best friends. My siblings are my best friends, Toastmaster Samarth.
Okay, so thank you, Toastmaster Rakesh, for such a amazing topic. So my siblings are the best friends. So I feel that siblings are one who know you since birth, and they also connect you because you have a blood relation, and they know all your patterns like since birth and childhood, your teenage, your adulthood. So they know you in and out. So your parents might not understand you in such a way, but your siblings will understand you because you are more open to your siblings. Because few things your parents might not understand because uh, they are of a certain age, so you don't share a few things with them. But with a sibling, you tend to share all your personal thing or whatever you feel like sharing with them. So I feel they are your best friend, and also they also are your mentor in many ways. So be it your personal life or your professional life, they mentor you. They are your guide. They are your light in the darkness. And in my personal experience, I have an elder sister, and she guides me in every area of my life. So I do feel that they are your best friends, and not only your best friend, but also they are your best mentors, best guide, and they are the best. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank
Couldn't
you.
agree with you more, Toastmaster Samarth. Yes, siblings are all that you mentioned, mentor, guide, best friends. But yes, so basically you agree with me saying that siblings
Yes.
are your best friends.
Yes.
Great,
Thank
fantastic.
you.
So going on to the next, who wants to come in? T-Mod? T-Mod Misha, would you want to?
Sure.
Okay, so T-Mod Misha, your topic is, life could be better off alone. Life could be better off alone. T-Mod Misha, over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rakesh, for this question. To be honest, I do not agree with this. I have a sibling, and I know how much I enjoy till today having a sibling with me. To be honest, I feel everyone should have siblings because your life is different. You grow up in a different way. Your personality is affected by with having a sibling because it's not about just having a sibling bounded by blood, but your cousins or your friends, some sibling figure, because they help you shape your character. You learn to live together, you learn to share, you learn to fight, you learn to make up, you learn to team up. Because one thing I have learned is you may fight you may fight all you want, but when you are against the world, you two are together. And one thing I know for sure is everyone might leave one day, but my sister will be there by my side. So having a sibling is extremely important for someone. And man is a social animal. In fact, human beings are social. They are not meant to be alone. So it is always better. It is always preferable to have someone, and having a sibling is the best thing having in your life. So I feel I do not resonate with your question, and I feel it is a blessing to have a sibling in your life.
Great.
That's my time. Thank you.
Fantastic, fantastic Toastmaster of the day, Misha. Very well said. Very well said. Okay. Okay, now we have 3 more topics, but topic number 5 I have reserved for our DTM, DTM Sudarshan, because it's a sort of a creative, which I think he will do justice to it. So we have 2 more topics and many takers right now. Thread is more. Oh, sorry, my apologies. Can I call the next speaker? Toastmaster Arbaz, would you want to go?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Yes. Okay. Toastmaster Arbaz, the topic for you is, a thread is more powerful than a prayer. A thread is more powerful than a prayer. Toastmaster Abbas.
There are a lot of fancy things in this world. Thread is one of them. But is it that only substance that is associated with it? Or does it have any feelings or bond that is associated with it? So good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. A thread is very important for three reasons. Firstly, I would like to point out that if a person has tied a thread around his hand by someone, it could be sister, it could be for religious purposes or whatever, the person is psychologically thinking that it gives me a sense of strength. So it helps us to get a lot of sensibility to that thing, and we tend to become much more confident in whatever we pursue. So it's not just only thread. The confidence, the kind of support that comes with it is par excellence. And second thing that comes to my mind is thread. It also makes our bonding special. See, if a person is coming to you and tying a thread around your arm or around your hand, then it's also a marker that the person cares for you. And there is a fundamental difference between love and caring. All the people who love do not simply care. You look at animals, you look at crows, what they do when their kids grow up, when their small offspring hatch from the eggs. They just leave them alone. They do not care. So this is what separates us from animals. And thirdly, to conclude, I would say that it helps your spiritual well-being as well. A person who is spiritual is able to get the rust of envy, jealousy, hatred out from his heart. So in that sense also, he is able to achieve a lot more better in whatever pursuit he engages into. So yeah, a thread is not just a thread, it's more than that. Over to you, table topic master, Toastmaster Rakesh.
Fantastic, fantastic, Abbas. Completely agree with you. Thread is not just a thread. Very well said. Okay, now we have one more before I pass on the last table topic to our DTM. Who wants to go? Toastmaster Preeti, I think you wanna take a shot.
Before that, Rakesh,
Rakesh, I think the evaluator of the first speaker wants to go first.
Okay.
So let's do that and then come back to table
Fine,
topics,
we'll do
given
that.
that we have some time in the meeting.
Sure, we'll do that. Okay. Fine.
Someone please record the time for this particular thing.
Yeah.
Just for a one speech. I'm really sorry for this.
Oh, no issues.
Okay.
So, fellow Toastmasters and guests, we have the first evaluator to come up on stage and take on the task of evaluating our first speaker, which was Toastmaster Abbas. To do the honors, I'm going to call up on stage right now Toastmaster Tariq to come up and deliver his evaluation. Toastmaster Tariq, we are ready when you are.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sudarshan. It's my privilege to give the evaluation for Toastmaster Abbas. What a great speech with the simplicity. The clarity of the speech was excellent. He started with the story, and he started also with knocking on the door, knock, knock. So that actually grabs the attention of the audience when you start making a noise and do the voice variation as well, or voice modulation as well. He started with a little bit more onto how the subconscious mind is guided by the anger. Now, this particular sentence actually impacted me a lot because every one of us will try to get to the core of the topic, which is gratitude and attitude. So one needs to give up the attitude to grab the gratitude. He started with the message in the story, which is empathy. So when you give a speech, a message is necessary and message will elevate your speech as well. So he had the empathy in his particular story, which actually is the crux. Otherwise, the story without the takeaway is nothing, right? It will not add any value to your speech. So that was excellent. He started asking the questions also to the audience and giving the answers. Like for an example, fundamental question about whether the kid went to the school or not, does he have parents, and he started turning this story to the topic that he has chosen, from attitude turning into the gratitude. So that was an excellent articulation of the words as well as the story and the flow. The interconnectedness of the flow was also great. I didn't find any flow on that. If I would to recommend you something, right, in order to elevate your speech, one thing that you could have chosen is probably giving more emphasis on the story. And when you split the story, so you spend say 30 to 45 seconds on a story, then spend 10 seconds on the message, another 30 to 45 seconds on the story, and then give the message, right? That would actually elevate your. You also summarize it very well, where you spent around 1 minute on 5 reasons why the gratitude is helpful, where you also presented the facts and the research on why gratitude is helpful for your mental wellness. So, which was good. Summary of this is also like you give 5 different reasons where you can give up smoking, you can give up bad habits, etc. Right. So that was a rust of the envy and the jealousy that probably you can give up as part of the showing and adopting gratitude in each and everything that you do. So that was an excellent summary as well with the message. So your starting of the speech, content of the speech, and summary, the last part summary was very nice. I think you should continue to adopt that practice. And the finishing line about be grateful, discard attitude, and express gratitude. So that whole sentence actually very well summarize your particular speech. So if you work on the recommendations that I gave when the story is a little bit long, and that will captivate the audience as part of your speech. So wish you all the best, and I'm sure the next week we are going to hear one more speech as you are on a speech spree. So thank you very much.
Rakesh, you can continue now.
Yeah, okay. Fine. Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Tariq, for such a thorough evaluation. Okay, now let's move on to one last table topic before I hand over the last table topic to our DTM Sudarshan. Okay, so who should I invite? I think Preeti, you want to take a shot?
Yes.
Yeah, Preeti. Can we spotlight Preeti also, please? Yeah. Zoom master. Yeah, can we spotlight Preeti?
Sure, 1 second.
Yeah.
Preeti, you need to 1 second. No, I lost my code. 1 second. 1 second. I lost my host privilege. Harit, you are there?
Yeah, Harit is there. Harit, can you spotlight Preeti?
Or Ajay can also do it.
Yeah, she's there. Okay, fine, great, thank you. Okay, so Toastmaster Preeti, your topic is building alliances should be our motto. Building alliances should be our motto. Toastmaster Preeti.
Actually, we all are made up of love. And the love only can be felt through relationship. As you said, alignment. So without a person, we can't feel that love. We can't realize the importance of life. So it is important to align with not only with your family, but align with everybody around us. And am I getting right your point, Rakesh?
No, so basically, let me repeat again. The topic
Yes.
of building alliances should be our motto. Alliance, not alignment. So I think you misunderstood as alignment. Alliances basically is like forming a bond, working in synergy, working together. That is an alliance.
Yes. Got it.
So,
yeah. So yes, building a bond between people is very important in a relationship. Not only relationship, in any field of our life. It can be our work field or in family. Because when you work together or with synergy, you can achieve much more in your life. And that's sorry.
no problem. Big round of applause. Great show. No problem. Thank you so much, Preeti.
Thank you.
Okay, now saving the best for the last. DTM Sudarshan, the table topic for you is Raksha first and Bandhan second. Raksha first and Bandhan second. DTM Sudarshan.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I completely disagree with the sequence. The previous question was building alliances. What is the Hindi word for alliance? It is bandhan. It is the ties that bond us, which propel us to get to that point where we want to feel protective about someone. Because guess what? If it is a relationship, and if that relationship is built on mutual respect, Raksha is inbuilt into that relationship. It is the bandhan that gives the Raksha and not the Raksha which gives the bandhan. That Raksha which provides you the bandhan is ephemeral, temporary, and something that can vanish if the necessary and sufficient conditions don't exist. For example, you see a woman being harassed in a train, you step in and you try to prevent some nonsense from occurring. In that instance, you are acting out of pure adrenaline-filled rush, and there is no real feeling for anyone or anything. Whereas, when you truly feel empathetic towards someone that you like, you will step forward without being provoked. You will not even let that harassment occur. Try and put yourself in that situation. If you're traveling in a crowded local with a friend of yours of the opposite gender, would you not automatically form a human shield before that person's body without being asked, without being told, without being requested? That is the power of bandhan. The day you realize that your bandhan is what is driving the relationship forward, Raksha becomes an inherent part of that particular relationship. So therefore, to Mr. Table Topics Master, I would say it is always the bandhan, then the Raksha. Back to you.
Great, superb. So basically, I completely agree with DTM Sudarshan that these are not independent of each other. They are dependent. One is dependent on the other. So the sequence was misaligned. Thank you, DTM Sudarshan, for explaining that concept very well. Okay, thank you. Okay, now let's move on to the next section. Let's move on to the GE, the general evaluation section.
Sure, I thought the Toastmaster would take over, but
yes, yeah. Sorry.
No problem.
Yeah.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, this is that particular segment of any meeting, which is literally, figuratively, the crux of why we are Toastmasters. But before I begin the general evaluation segment, I want all of us to switch on our cameras and applaud Preeti Mundra. It takes immense amount of courage to step forward and take a chance. And this is that only arena that you have where you can come, try, fail, yet get applauded, come back again, try again, fail again, and keep getting applauded. Therefore, fellow Toastmasters and guests, you are today spending valuable and precious time in honing your skills. And what better way to hone your skills than to also get feedback as to how you could improve? We already saw a demonstration of that when our first evaluator, Toastmaster Tariq, delivered that bravura performance in evaluating our first speaker. The whole attempt was to elevate Toastmaster Arbaz to the next level. And that is exactly the hat that I'm going to don right now as the evaluator of our second speaker. So let me, in all earnestness, start off with the speech evaluation for Toastmaster Rakesh, and then we shall proceed to the rest of the evaluation of this meeting. Greed is good. How many of you have heard this line? Anyone remembers this line? Greed is good. I guess most of you, other than Rakesh, are from a generation which probably missed that movie. These immortal lines were uttered by Gordon Gekko in the movie Wolf of Wall Street. Not the Leonardo DiCaprio one, the previous one with Michael Douglas, which is the true movie, by the way. If you guys want to watch it, go and watch that. That movie had something which I got from Rakesh's speech. It had a story of creation, and Rakesh's story to me was exactly that. His story was embellished with characters. His story was enhanced with his language and linguistic skills. His story rose up due to his powerful oration. All of that mixed together creates an irresistible force which attracted me and kept me attracted. And trust me, after 10 years in Toastmasters, to keep me attracted to a 7-minute speech is a task in itself. Given that all of us have this other appendage in our hands and it keeps blinking, my attention could have been very easily drawn away from the screen to the phone. But Rakesh kept me hooked and kept me engrossed in what is going to transpire. That, gentlemen, is the power of a storyteller. Any storyteller is a painter with words, and Rakesh was no different. Exactly like the Zoom screen borders that he's got, he had colorful tapestry of imagery, of words, of gestures, all of that splashed together on the canvas called 7 minutes of storytelling. Now, if this is the power of our speaker, what could he do differently to take this story and make it into a screenplay? There is a subtle difference between a story and a screenplay. A story is something that you react to. A screenplay is something that makes you react. So to make it into a screenplay, first and foremost, this story had a lot of characters. From the Birlas to the Ambanis to Rakesh himself, his swivel chair, his cabin, his suit, his tie, his perfume. I want to know all of it. A great story starts in the wrinkles of the character. It evolves from the personality, the voice, the texture, the feeling that this character has. So that was an opportunity that Rakesh could build in. When he could say, as Mr. Ambani walked into my office, I could smell the faint aroma of Armani. I could, in the rustle of the gabardine suit that he was wearing, get that feeling that this was hand-tailored for him. And when he sat and put his Mont Blanc on the desk, I sat up with my chest out because I also was carrying. That makes him and the character come alive. The second is the voice. Remember when your grandma told you stories? The prince was charming. The princess was fragile. Always. Your grandma didn't go to Toastmasters, but she knew how to modulate her voice to make you sleep or get you to do her bidding. That needs to be an integral part of any story. Language, diction, etc. can always embellish a story, but it is the characters that actually give life to a story. So I would request our speaker to focus a lot more on character building and therefore reduce the number of characters, keep one or two and grow them as the story progresses. All in all, a great story and reiterated the formula. Green is indeed good. Thanks for having me as your evaluator. Let's now progress to the next part of today's meeting. First and foremost, we had two role players that have been observing the meeting and recording every proceeding that was going on. But before I call on them, I'm going to request our timer to tell me how far ahead of the stipulated time did I exceed. I think both evaluators consumed more time than allotted.
Yeah. So DTM, firstly, as I mentioned before, I could not catch first evaluator's timing. However, as far as yours is concerned, it's 4 minutes and 6 seconds.
Thank you. I think by my watch, Tariq's evaluation was also about 4 minutes and 11 seconds. So both of us stand disqualified from voting if there was going to be one. And that happens to the best of us at times. And I'm by no means the best, but it is something that happens in, on occasion and shouldn't happen. A lesson for me as well to take back and say, the next time I deliver, I need to be a lot more crisp. But unfortunately, Rakesh's story was so rich that I didn't want to cut it short. Let's now turn our attention to the first role player that came and introduced the word of the day. So could we have the word master coming and sharing with us the word master's report and then therefore the grammarian's report as well. Over to you, Toastmaster Ajay.
Thank you, DTM, General Evaluator Solutions, for the grammatical reports to present. It was such a nice, sessions. It's wonderful. Everyone speak very well. So grammatical report consists of 3 points. Number one, first I would like to present the good uses of the language. And the second one, report for not so good uses of the language. And third is mention the name of the speaker who used the word of the day in the right context. So let me give a first report on good use of the language. I will refer in the name of the Toastmaster who uses all the good uses, but I'll go ahead with the good uses. Virtue and gratitude is used in right context. Affirmation, self-inspection, soul healing,
Exercise.
Correlation. Yeah, exercise. Yeah, soul healing of exercise. Correlation. Embracing. Counting of blessing. Very good use of this word in the right context. Incorporate. Constitute. Econom. Regaling. Linking. Sustain. Strategic partner, rabbit of the hat, merger, flawless, amazing and creativity. Human beings are social animal, perfectly used in the right context. Resonate, articulation, and propel, provoke, and modulate. These are the words used in a very right context. Let's give applause for using these words, everyone, please. The second point is not so good uses of the languages. I feel that it's also a right use in the right in a context, but I would feel I felt that it should be right context in a present scenario. So third, I would mention the name of the speaker who uses the word of the day in the today's sessions. Toastmaster Tariq used 2 times. Simplicity used 2 times. Toastmaster Arbaz is also used 1 time. And Toastmaster Rakesh is also used 1 time. Yeah. Thank you so much, DTM. General Evaluator, over to you.
Thank you very much. I got the meeting. Hello.
Sorry, DTM Sudarshan, we can't hear you. Sorry, I think there's a problem.
Yeah, there seems some problem. Let me a second. Let me sort this out. I'm sorry about this.
No problem. Yeah.
To my phone because I think there is a problem with my internet connection. Okay. Now am I better audible and visible?
Yes.
Great. So I'm assuming that the grammarian's report is completed because I missed out on a few bits here and there. That being said, let me now.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ajay. Let me now put on the hat of a general evaluator and walk all of us through how this meeting transpired. So first and foremost, a Toastmasters meeting is like a ship on the high seas. That ship might have 10 layers or 10 decks on top of the ocean, but that ship has got equally about 20 decks under the sea, which no one can see. And that's exactly what a good meeting looks like. A lot of work happens prior to the meeting, which is the planning, the cobbling together of role players, the coaching and motivating of every person that's going to come and take the stage. All of it, when done properly, reflects in the way the meeting takes place. And today was a clear example of exactly how one should organize a Toastmasters meeting. Whether it was the fact that we started bang on time, I was late by a couple of seconds, but I think the Sergeant at Arms had already taken charge by then, and the meeting had begun in all earnestness. The presiding officer, crisp message to roll the ball forward and get the meeting going. And then, of course, came the pièce de résistance of today's meeting, our Toastmaster of the day. First and foremost, I want to apologize to the Toastmaster of the day because a lot of them called her T-Mod. Would you like to be called that way? SPKR1, SPKR2, Eval1, Eval2? No, right? Then why do you abbreviate? And this is a pandemic that I've seen across Toastmasters in India. Please do not abbreviate role titles. Toastmaster of the day is the role. Call the person Toastmaster of the day. If you don't want to use those 4 words, just call them Toastmaster Misha. Do not abbreviate unnecessarily. Don't introduce a role player saying TM Misha is going to be our T-Mod. That is downright insulting. So please don't do that. Now coming to Toastmaster Misha, the way she wove those 4 stories of why we celebrate Raksha Bandhan as a festival was a beautiful walk down memory lane for me. And the language that she used was particularly impressive. The tone, the diction, the pace, the pitch, all of it added together. With the fact that she's wearing the headphones, it made me feel like I am on an FM channel as a guest and I'm going to be now interviewed. Aapko kaise lag raha hai? That was exactly what I felt when Misha started speaking. And trust me, I did not want her to stop speaking. So much so that my wife, who gets really irritated because of my involvement in Toastmasters, walked into the room and said, "Who's speaking?" She's speaking well. So kudos, Misha. You have the ability to take this skill and make it fungible outside of Toastmasters. Please work on it. You will definitely be grateful to yourself for that effort. That said, she then seamlessly segued into this today's meeting, which is basically the 2 prepared speeches. The 2 prepared speeches have been evaluated in detail, but I would like to share some feedback with our speaker number 1. In fact, for both speakers, a couple of points that I missed out during my evaluation. Both speakers had immense amount of opportunity, which in my opinion got missed. And the reason is both of them chose to sit and speak. If they had been standing, it would have been expansive. It would have been grand. It would have been all encompassing. Always remember that your body and your face speaks about 70% of what your words try to convey. It is only 30% that gets conveyed through your voice and words. The rest is all the non-verbal cues. And therefore, try and incorporate as much of that as possible. We Indians tend to use our hands a lot. After the Italians, we Indians are known to do things with our hands, which we should not be doing many a number of times. Gestures like this, which mean very differently in different cultures. But our body language is exactly the other way. We are very expressive people, and we should try and harness that talent as much as possible. So both of you need to stand and speak. The first speaker, Arbaz, had a speech which was immensely engaging. And I didn't want that particular speech to end because it talked to me about a lot of things that I have been thinking about, I've been procrastinating at times, and I have been indulging in at times and not seeing it to conclusion. That had a lot of takeaway values. Both these speeches can go to contests and win. So both of you need to work on your script, chisel it down to bare bones, rebuild your script, deliver it across 10 or 12 clubs to get multifarious feedback, and then take it to contests, because both these speeches have the legs to go places. And I'm not saying it just because you've invited me. I truly believe both these speeches can be mentored to a level where it can actually shine at a much bigger stage. Then came the two evaluators, of which I was one. I shall obviously not evaluate myself, but I will evaluate the first evaluator. Yet again, the evaluation was more like a friend putting his arm around the other friend's shoulder and telling him, "Kya kar raha hai boss? Aise mat kar." It was exactly that way. It was like two friends sitting on a katta, talking to each other with chai and sutta in their hands. That is the right way to do an evaluation. However, like me, the other evaluator also played for longer, or if we give a cricketing analogy, both of us bowled no balls when we were supposed to be behind the crease. We crossed the crease by a big margin. That being said, that's a skill that can be easily built and brought back into our practice. And that's what I would say. The language was encouraging from Tariq. His analysis was spot on. In fact, his analysis was so elaborate that that took away a lot of time from recommendations. And therefore, try and cut it down to one or two key elements that you want to analyze, and then talk about how to improve on those. I made the same mistake. I looked at the analysis piece for over a minute and a half, and therefore was left with no time to provide meaningful recommendations in a structured manner. Then came our table topic session. I thought the topics were well chosen, very appropriate for the theme. Slightly complicated topics, according to me. Complicated not in the sense of the verbosity of it, complicated in the sense that it made people think, and that's exactly what table topics should do. Remember that every time you participate in table topics, you are giving yourself an opportunity to build your own elevator pitch, because life happens in those moments where you don't expect life to happen. Trust me on this. I recently got into an elevator, and as I was going up, someone smiled at me and asked me one question. That question was, what do you think about the real estate market in UAE? In that ride from ground floor to 79th floor, I spoke for about 3 minutes, landed an interview, got the job only to refuse. It is simply because I got into a conversation after a smile. That is the power of being in table topics, because these are opportunities which you get to practice. Never say no to come up and try, and do what Ms. Mundra did today. Try. You might be stuck for thoughts. You will find DTMs of 20 years experience coming up on stage and scratching their hair saying, "Nahi samajh aaya boss, topic." It doesn't matter at all. What matters is, did you have the courage to come stand in front of the mic and try to collect your thoughts? And that is where you win. Whether you speak or not, whether your speech gets awarded or not, all that is immaterial. Try and speak. Guys, this is the only platform where you can speak utter garbage and yet people will go like this after it. So don't miss out that opportunity. Use it to your benefit every time. I would have preferred if we had had every single person in this meeting trying to speak. I wanted to hear what Harit sounds like. The poor fellow has been just putting people on spotlight and putting them out of spotlight. I would have loved to hear Swapnali speak. She's been doing a commendable job as a timer. It takes effort to do all of that. I heard Amit's voice once. I haven't heard him speak during the meeting. So every speaker get an opportunity. And if you have a table topic master like Rakesh, the topic itself is so beautiful. You can pick any word from the topic and speak, and it will still make sense. Like I took the Bandhan from the Raksha Bandhan and spoke about it. I could have taken the other piece as well. I could have used the full sentence as well. That is where I would recommend all of you to work on and try and take this opportunity to make yourself take that step forward and do better. All in all, I thought it was a well-organized meeting, well conducted, ran pretty much to time except for some transgressions like mine and Tarek's. Otherwise, most of the role players have stuck to time. What I also want to say is clearly there seems to be good mentoring going on in this club, and that will stay with you people for a long time to come, because that power of mentoring where somebody gives you a kick on your backside when you deserve it and puts a hand around your shoulder when you deserve it makes a world of difference. So all of you go back to your mentors today, say thanks to them and ask them for feedback. Ask them for valuable criticism, take it on board, try and improve the next time. Thanks for having me as a general evaluator. Back to the presiding officer to conclude the meeting.
Thank you, DTM Sudarshan, for such a thorough evaluation. But I think before that, Toastmaster of the day, your closing remarks before I conclude.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rakesh. With that being said, I would actually like the Zoom master to please go ahead with the polls. Can we have the polls, please?
Sure, Misha, I'll just start launching them.
Okay. In the meanwhile, I would like to say, Karen White had once said, they say no matter how old you become, when you are with your siblings, you revert to childhood. And to be honest, I couldn't agree more. Siblings, they are children of the same parents, each of whom is perfectly normal until they are together. And to be honest, this is the most relatable quote I have ever felt or heard. Excuse me. Being a sibling means you are a part of something wonderful. It means you will love and you will be loved for the rest of your life. And this no matter what. So with that being said, I would now like to end this meeting with love and respect for our siblings and celebrating our relation with them, not just on Raksha Bandhan, but every day. And we may talk about celebrities and other famous siblings, but our real celebrities are our Toastmasters. And it is always incomplete if I do not mention them. I had requested for a few pictures of siblings of our Toastmasters, and a few of them had been kind enough to share their pictures, which I would like to share with you all. For few people, there will be only one picture, but few people have shared their childhood pictures as well as the present pictures. I will take you through the pictures, and I hope you all enjoy those.
Sorry, Harit, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I can just see on the best tag role player, just one person has voted. That's it.
Yeah, it's the same showing to me as well.
Yes.
Is that true? People, please vote.
I don't think so, because even I am not able to vote. So I think unless you
pop-up message not comes for the voting.
Correct, it's just showing me the result because obviously I'm the PO.
Yeah, it should pop up when the.
There was no pop-up window to vote.
Mm-hmm. Correct. So if you can enable that.
If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea.
Is this song audible to everyone? Okay.
Yes, Misha.
Okay. Okay, can someone tell me who is this?
Can I take a guess?
Sure.
Deepak Shukla.
Sorry?
Deepak Shukla.
No, that's Toastmaster Tanmay with his brother.
Okay.
And this is their current picture.
Okay, great.
Tanmay, do we have you here?
Yes, Tanmay is there.
You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when
Okay.
I can't vote. So does a PO not get to vote?
Okay. Can everyone see this?
Yeah.
That is Toastmaster Brijesh with his brother.
Yes. This is easy. Yep.
This is Toastmaster Ajay with his sister.
Yep. Oh, okay.
This is Toastmaster Preeti.
Yeah.
Okay. This is Toastmaster Samar
Wow.
with his sister. And this is their current picture.
Wow.
This is Toastmaster Mitesh. That is Toastmaster Swapnali with her brother. That is Toastmaster Prashant and his sister. This the childhood picture. And this is their present picture. That is Toastmaster Sudha and her brother. And this is their childhood picture. This is Toastmaster Sudha's childhood picture. And I really liked it. She has 2 brothers there. That's me and my sister. And this is our current picture.
Beautiful.
So I really hope you all enjoyed this. It was a great session for me, and especially since I'm so close to my sibling, this theme was really close to my heart. And please excuse me. Yeah, am I audible?
Yep.
Okay. So this theme was really close to my heart. And with that being said, now I would like to hand over the stage to the presiding officer for the closing remarks. I have had a lot of fun doing this theme with you all, and you all have been really very participating and very enthusiastic. I appreciate all of you for taking all the efforts to joining us on this Sunday morning. You could be doing anything or nothing, but you all took the effort to actually come and join us and be a part of this meeting. So I applaud all of you. Thank you so much. Have a great week ahead and happy Raksha Bandhan to all of you. Over to you, Presiding Officer Rakesh.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Misha. And most of all, thank you so much, our General Evaluator DTM Sudarshan and the evaluator for my speech, for giving such a thorough evaluation of our club and also about the role players and speakers. And also thank you for enlightening us for not abbreviating the role players going forward. We shall take that into consideration, and the next meeting onwards, we shall be using, not using the abbreviations and calling the speakers as they are. So thank you so much. Overall, I think it was a fantastic meeting. I think all of our alumni, I almost had 100% participation, close to 100% participation in our table topics. The topics were interesting, and also the responses. And especially I liked the way DTM Sudarshan sort of dissected Bandhan from Raksha and then sort of got back the synergy between Bandhan and Raksha. So thank you for that. And a great, fantastic speech by Toastmaster Arbaz. I was also thoroughly glued to the speech from beginning to the end. So I would say overall a great meeting. But next meeting onwards, I would want more prepared speeches. So we had 2. That is a minimum that we decided for the club. So if we can get 3 or 4 more, then we can surely get a contest going here. And we have some great speakers, especially I would like to call out our Toastmaster of the Day, Misha, to start off her Toastmaster journey again and start off her prepared speeches, because you're a fantastic speaker, Misha, as I've told you right from beginning. So overall, a great session. And I was thoroughly motivated and look forward to many more sessions like these. If there are any feedbacks or recommendations, we can always, have a discussion on it. Okay, so now if the polls are ready, can we see the polls?
Yeah, just one request. Can you all vote on the shared link for table topics?
Yes. Correct.
Okay, we'll start with the big three. Any guesses on that?
Table topic I voted, yes.
We have the results for best of big three.
Yeah.
Great.
This
So you
goes
wanna
to, I'll announce the winner for best of big three. It goes to Misha, Toastmaster Misha D'Souza.
Excellent, Misha. Superb. Congratulations.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody, for your love.
Then we also have result for best prepared speaker. We can't hear you, Misha, if you're speaking.
Sorry, I think Misha's on mute. Yeah, she's on mute. Yeah, Misha, can you unmute?
Sure.
Okay. So you want to say a few words? You're the best of big three winner.
I am actually overwhelmed right now. I loved to be very honest, I am on cloud nine because the way DTM Sudarshan Sheshadri has said such lovely things. I am really overwhelmed and I would really like to make efforts to be better at what he has already said I am. And I would request him to be more come more often and evaluate us and help all of us to become better speakers and better evaluators, to let us know how to evaluate, like you evaluated so minutely, pointing out so many nuances. So that was a really good thing that we all would like to learn and inculcate and improve. And I am really ecstatic. I enjoy being T-Mod every time I am here. Toastmasters, Mumbai Speakers Toastmasters Club is like my home, and I never have to take any special effort to be here. It's like being with family members and having fun and talking to them and sharing with them. The environment and the ambience we have here is so friendly and so positive that anyone would feel comfortable coming up here and talking. So thank you so much. It's because everyone who is here, who is inclusive and who takes effort to make sure that everybody else is also confident, and they come up and take efforts to speak. So it's not just one person, it's the whole club, the members who support each other and are very positive. So this is what I would like to say. I thank you so much, all of you, for giving all your love and support. And I would really like to, again, I would reiterate, but thank you so much, DTM Sudarshan. It really means a lot to me. Such words coming from a seasoned Toastmaster, a distinguished Toastmaster like you, means a lot to me. And I would surely keep all these things in mind and make sure that I improve myself. Thank you so much for coming and gracing us with your valuable presence and your valuable evaluation.
My pleasure. The only thing I would like to tell Misha, if she wants me to join every meeting of your club on Sunday morning, it is my breakfast time. Zomato works here as well. So one of you need to do the honors of ordering my breakfast. Well, my wife is not going to be very happy if I keep doing Toastmasters meeting on Sunday mornings during breakfast.
Hospitality is what runs in every Indian's blood. So we would be more than happy to make sure that you get all the hospitality from us or our club, and would love to have you. So thank you so much. You're more than welcome.
I will make sure I am there in person as well, because I promised your mentor, your senior from the club, Sudhar, a couple of times now that I'll come. The last time I was there, I couldn't make it, though we were both in Chembur, but we couldn't meet. This time I'll try and ensure that wherever you guys meet, I'm there.
Thank you so much.
Okay, next up we have best prepared speaker, and that goes to Toastmaster Arbaz. Congrats, Arbaz.
Can we invite Arbaz to say a few words?
Sir, if I were to say a few words, what
Yeah.
will I say? The meeting will surely surpass its allotted time. So for the benefit of all, let's just continue with the post. I'm extremely grateful
Okay.
for what you did. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Next is best table topic speaker, and that goes to distinguished Toastmaster Sudarshan. Round of applause.
Thank you.
We are not calling for the speech evaluation today, right?
No.
Yeah, because of this call. Yeah.
We just had a technical issue with the poll for best tag player. So we'll conclude that on the WhatsApp group then.
Mhm. It's fine.
Great. I will take your leave now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, DTM Sudarshan. And we look forward to have you in more meetings as well.
Sure.
Please do join us.
Just keep me posted. Whenever I have time, I will join.
Yeah. Just one quick
Bye.
question, if I may have, before you go. I mean, I'm sure you have been a member of many other clubs and you are a DTM yourself. So if I have to rate Mumbai Speakers Toastmaster Club versus the other clubs where you have been a GE or given an education session, how would you rate us, basically? Because we are looking for
Sure. So
presence.
without being needlessly sweet and saccharine coated, I would say today's meeting, given all the technical and other challenges, will rate at about 7.5 on a scale of 1 to 10, just for the sheer quality of the speakers, right from the sergeant at arms to the presiding officer closing the meeting. There is quality all around. But is there perfection? I don't think so. Can there be immense improvements? Yes. Will there be challenges along the way? Yes. What you need, according to me, is proper coaching and mentoring for each of the roles that we have taken up. For example, the grammarian's role, I think, can definitely be improved. For example, I think the timer's role can definitely be done in a more creative manner. Not to say that they didn't do a great job today. They did a fantastic job, which many clubs fail to do. But they can do even better because your club is already at a height. It can go further. So that's answer to your question.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, DTM Sudarshan. I'm sure we all will take your feedback, and the next time when you come will be a much better score on the scale of 10. Yes. Okay, guys. So with everyone's permission, we are done. So we can close the meeting then.
Thank you all. Have a good rest of the weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great week ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye.